Hi, welcome to SBR Sports Picks. I'm Peter Loshak. This is Mike Branner. This is the Odds Couples Sports Betting Show NFL edition, and this is the segment known as Top Dogs and False Faves that we do with Doug Upstone. Mike Branner, Doug Upstone has a long-term record of success. Our regular viewers know that they think of him as the best NFL handicapper on our roster. And last week in Week 1, 3-0.
You remember that saying, kicked ass and take names? That's what Doug did last week.
Doug Upstone, 3-0 in Week 1. Quite a start to the NFL season. What do you have to say for yourself?
Well, you know me, Peter. I'm not one to toot my horn that much, and I understand that the next losing streak is right around the corner. Yep. But in a shameless plug for Sportsbook Review, I'd also like to add that my top plays were also 3-0, and in an article that I had to write about the teasers, I hit 4-0 on teasers last week in the NFL.
That makes 10-0. That makes 10-0 in my
whatever it is. All right,
mind.
so Doug Upstone, it's Tuesday, NFL Week 2. Let's just get right into it. Let's hear what he has for us. What's your top dog or false fave for NFL Week 2?
My first top dog is going to be on the Indianapolis Colts. Now, last week I was wise to go against Indianapolis, but I'm going to come back with them this week. Wow. And after digging a deep hole last week, the Colts kind of got their offense going with Andrew Luck, and they actually looked pretty good, most of the game. The keys I thought was Luck was checking down, which he has not done much the last couple of years, which opened up the passing game more to these talented receivers. Now, of course, we know the Denver defense is absolutely tremendous, but the way to beat this defense is what Indianapolis did last year, throwing the ball down the field, and also what Pittsburgh did in the playoffs, just coming up short by also throwing the ball down the field. Now, we know the Indianapolis defense reeks. But Trevor Siemian, the Denver quarterback, is going to make a couple of mistakes, which I think can help Indianapolis hang around. And like these quirky college football trends, Denver is 0-9 against the spread the last 9 times they have played Indianapolis. I think the Colts are a top dog.
Yeah, when we did our opening lines show, that was one of my early leans. I said I was leaning towards the under and also leaning towards the Colts.
You were leaning towards the Colts?
Oh yeah, I said it in the show. So
good breakdown.
I think you're right there. All right, Doug Upstone, that's his first one. I know you're liking Denver.
Yeah,
right?
I was. Hey, Doug, I wish we would have did this about 2 hours ago, but hey, it's all good. That's why they play the game, and I do respect the fact that you say you don't gloat because you never do. This man never looks in the rearview mirror, and I like that. Doug, I'm worried about Indianapolis's defense. This defense has so many holes to plug. Can they do it? Can they make that adjustment that quick?
Yeah, I think no. Well, the first part of your question is no. I can't imagine that they're going to change it that quickly. But again, like I said, I think Trevor Siemian with Denver. I think he's a nice looking player. He did a lot of things right in the first game. But now we're going to start seeing adjustments. Teams are going to start attacking him differently. And he had a couple of really bad mistakes last week, in throwing interceptions. So I think Indianapolis can do enough to keep themselves in contention, and they have a lot of confidence going up against Denver with their history.
All right, Doug Upstone, thanks for the analysis. What is your second top dog or false fave for NFL Week 2?
The second one is going to be on the New Orleans Saints going up to the Big Apple. Now, last week, New Orleans had a 24-13 lead in the third quarter at home. Looked good, and the defense was showing a lot of improvement. Then they just completely fell apart in the last 15 minutes, giving up 22 points, and the Saints lost the game 35-34. Now, looking at it closer, though, is that the thing I found that, you got New Orleans did score 34 points with Drew Brees, and even though the Giants won at Dallas, which was a nice win, the score was 20-19 and the stats were almost dead even. And the difference in that game with Dallas is the fact that Eli Manning had 3 touchdown drives and rookie Dak Prescott did not have any. Now, the G-men are 6-2 and 5-2-1 against the spread at home against New Orleans. But you know what? I'm going to take the 5 points with Drew Brees and the boys, who are 17-6 against the spread, off a loss by 6 points or less.
Okay, yeah, that was one that I was scratching my head on when the opening line came out. I have no opinion as of right now. I was obviously, the Giants are a quality team, wondering if 5 points is too much. Doug Upstone says yes.
Well, Pete, also, you and I broke this down earlier. The Giants, this is a team scratching their head also. They're going through some changes. Drew Brees is Drew Brees, and obviously that defense, Doug, when they got rid of Rob Ryan, they did themselves a favor, and I did see a vast improvement, although they fell apart, but I think they can put it back together quicker. I think the Giants are more of a mess than they are, and I kind of like your breakdown.
All right, Doug Upstone, what is your third top dog or false fave for NFL Week 2?
We got a false favorite, and we're going to go with the Green Bay Packers. Now, if you watched Jacksonville and Green Bay last week, Jacksonville had the conviction that they could have won the game as a young team, they would have beaten the Packers last week. The Packers were outgained by 54 yards. And gentlemen, for the first time in 92 years, the Green Bay Packers are opening up their first 2 games on the road. Now, the Vikings, this is their home opener in a brand new building, and the game's going to be on Sunday night. And which in my mind, and obviously if you know anything about Midwestern people, there's going to be a lot of alcohol consumed before the start of that game. So they're going to be well lubricated in the purple going up against the team they despise in green and gold. Now, the Packers certainly have the edge at quarterback with Aaron Rodgers over Sean Hill and or Sam Bradford. But if you look at the rest of the positions, the Vikings have the better defense and also the stronger offensive line. Yes, Green Bay has won the last 3 times they went to Minneapolis, but Minnesota traded for Sam Bradford for one reason. They thought they have a Super Bowl quality team, and as long as they get decent quarterback play, that they can win. When I look at this game across the board, I think Minnesota is the stronger team. The Packers are 2-4 against the spread in their last 6 in the second of 2 road games. I think, gentlemen, frankly, the Packers are just a false favorite.
All right, well.
And with the man's record like that, how can you absolutely go the other way? But here's the thing.
Well, he doesn't get everything
No,
right.
he doesn't. No, he doesn't. And this is what I'm saying, Pete, bottom line. What he broke down makes sense. Think about it. All right, Minnesota is a damn good defense. Mike Zimmer brings it every day. All right, it's going to take a little time with Bradford, but he is smart enough to not hurt that team, okay? Green Bay did not look impressive last week. That was a squeaker. They didn't cover unless you got it in early, which you did. All right, guess what? When you said, uh-oh, I did too, because I already went out early and made them an official pick.
Right.
Now Doug's got me scratching my head, and I ain't got a whole hell of a lot of hair left.
Doug, the anxiety you might be hearing in our voices, both Mike Brenner and I gave the Packers as an official pick in our opening lines show on Monday. We can take that back, though, anytime today, tomorrow, Thursday,
That's
Friday.
right, we can.
So
Yeah.
thanks for the information, Doug Upstone. You really would recommend that people stay off of the Packers, right?
I do. I think the Packers are a play against team. I think Minnesota, the situation, I think favors them across the board.
All right, well, maybe
it.
we can take them back at +3 at
Good
some
stuff.
point.
And I
later
love
on
the
in
way
the
he threw in the Midwest people. There's going
Yeah.
to be some alcohol soon. Well, guess what? I'm down in the Midwest of Costa Rica, so there will be some alcohol consumed also.
Doug Upstone, thanks for
you go.
your information as always. We'll talk to you again next week for NFL Week 3.
Thanks, Doug.
Thank you, gentlemen. I appreciate it.
Do your research before you bet. Check out our ratings guide to see which books have the best ratings and sign-up bonuses. Open up several accounts. Shop for lines at sbrodds.com. Always be ahead of the game.